with street smarts, what is your most street tip?
I don't know if I would have street smarts, but I am a girl. So I do have some girl smarts. Number one is do not be nice. Do not say sorry. There was actually a paper I read about this convicted R-word who said that he would bump into girls at grocery stores, and if they said sorry or smiled and tried to make him feel more comfortable, he would be like, that's the one I'm going to go after, because you obviously apologized for something that wasn't your fault, and you're probably not going to put up that much of a fight or make that much of a scene or yell that very loud because you want other people to feel comfortable, even though he purposely bumped into you. So if you feel weird, best piece of advice is don't make them feel more comfortable getting closer to you. Don't make them feel more comfortable, like walking up, don't smile, don't be like, look at them, and like make them feel as uncomfortable as you do. I think all girls know
that. That's enough. You're literally seeing, sorry, thank you for liking and subscribing, thank you for clicking on the video, thank you for clicking the little bell, share it with your friends. You literally just saw the point of why all these women that are beautiful women, that's a beautiful girl right there, why they have resting bitch face. She literally said, don't smile, don't say sorry, don't be mean to them. What are you, from one guy? Number one, we don't even know if the paper she read was real. We don't know. No, she didn't put anything in the comments. Go and look at the video. She didn't put a description. She didn't put an article. She didn't actually post the paper that she's talking about. So then she says, be mean, like don't smile. So now you literally understand. Have you ever wondered why all these really beautiful women, whenever you see them, they're always like, and you're like, oh, like you're really beautiful. Why are you so angry? Right there. You just heard it. You just heard why. Because let's break this down, okay? Let's break this down. Because a man that was allegedly a convicted R-word, okay, he was what apparently he would bump into women at a grocery store. Number one, we don't even know if the paper is real because she didn't post it. There's nothing to say that it even exists. Number two, it's about one person that's a rapist. One. So number three, let's just, humor her. We'll throw her a bone. Let's say the paper is real. We don't know if that paper is fiction. We don't know if some toxic feminist just made it up in her head. So you literally saw it. And that's why I'm like shocked. When I heard that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because of a paper that she read one time that we don't even know if it exists. We don't even know if it's real, like fiction. We don't know if it's nonfiction or fiction. And we don't know if the obvious toxic feminist that wrote it, we don't know if the obvious toxic feminist that wrote it just off the top of their head and just made the whole thing up. So you're literally seeing why. And you should go see how many likes that fucking video has. You should go see how many it has. It has hundreds of thousands of likes, dude. That means that men that have nothing even close to that one rapist that we don't even know exists, if it's not just a character in some toxic feminist head, and she wrote a paper, if that paper even exists, we don't even know. But that right there is giving millions of women advice. And then she goes on to start talking about all kinds of shit that's just common sense. She talks about, having your keys ready for your car. What? I'm a guy. What you're telling me that I'm not going to be ready when I walk up to my car that it's unlocked because somebody could come rob me? And you know why something like this gets to me? Because I go through it all the time when I'm out running or when I'm out exercising. And if there's a woman walking in the street, bro, I exercise every single morning, 6 times a week, right? That's how often I work out in the street. I go out running, and I do videos on that. And what happens when one woman, it decides on one day to go out walking at 5, 6 in the morning? What happens when they see me? They're like, and I look at I'm like, yes, can I help you? What is your problem? Like, you're in my territory. I run here every morning. Okay, I run in these streets every morning. You're in my territory. What the hell are you doing here? Don't look at me like that, bro. You see? But I'm already hitting 6 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it off here. But now you understand, right? You understand that notion why these really gorgeous, beautiful women. And let's face facts here. If that girl wasn't that good looking, and if she didn't have her fucking cleavage out, she wouldn't have gotten all those likes. But these really gorgeous, beautiful women, and they just have that face. Because they think everybody's gonna rape them, dude. They think everybody is gonna rape them. You don't listen to videos like that. What is wrong with you? I will, granted, okay, we understand there are rapists out there. Okay, there are. Women get raped, and that's fucking horrible. And those men should be castrated. They should be put to death. That's the way I feel. Okay, just like murderers. They should be put to death. They should be castrated chemically. But then you're going to go and tell other women that are going to meet men that have no intention of raping them, none whatsoever, none. You're going to tell them to have resting bitch face and not even smile at a man. Bro, and then they wonder why they're alone. And I'm sorry, and that's just the truth. We're hitting 7 minutes, so I'm going to cut it off there. Y'all fucking wonder why these beautiful, gorgeous women are alone and bitter. Bro, wow. So now going from one toxic feminist to another, look at this. I found this when I was researching on the what is it, the Dam, How to Destroy a Man. When I was researching that one, I found this. So look at this. SCUM, Society for Cutting Up Men Manifesto. Valerie Solanas. Whatever. Solanas. Okay, SCUM Manifesto. Now, this is 96 pages. I don't know how much of that is actually going to be book, but we're just going to go for 1 hour exactly. Last time when we did that other book, it was just so damn good. I had to go for an hour and a half. So let's just jump right into this. Here is, what is this? Is this like a pre-thing? This is, because I know this isn't the first page. All right, we're just going to read everything because I want to comb through this because apparently this is like hardcore. Presentation of the rationale and program of action of SCUM, Society for Cutting Up Men, which will eliminate through sabotage all aspects of society not relevant to women. Bro, this book is like from the 1960s. So if you're looking at the feminist landscape that we live in today, it's probably going to come from something like this. Bring about a complete female takeover. Eliminate the male sex and begin to create a swinging, groovy, out-of-sight female world. Warhol, the ultimate voyeur, felled by SCUM, a diatribe of fanatical intensity, savage shrewdness, and wit. All right. SCUM Manifesto, Valerie Solanas, with an introduction by Vivian Gornick, the Olympia Press. Look, right here. Here it is. Here's the year. What is this? SCUM Manifesto, copyright 1967, bro. This is almost 60 years ago, dude. Okay, so there's a lot of blank pages. Okay, here we go. Publisher's preface. Valerie Solanas was one of the permanent features in the lobby of the Chelsea, together with the proliferating objetar, abandoned on the walls of the hotel by generations of fractured painters and sculptors. Her clothing was invariable, the same old jeans and sweater, and the cap sitting straight on the top of her head. Her fixed expression was that of a douanier Rousseau, whatever that is, personage frozen in wooden immobility against its picture book background. I was living at the Chelsea myself, and one day I found a note she had left in my box in which she explained that she was a writer and wanted to see me. We met. Her manner was friendly, lively, and she had a sense of humor. Somewhat took the edge off of the anti-masculine doctrine she proceeded to preach to me. The title of her play, Up Your Ass, was sufficiently indicative of her iconoclastic disposition, and naturally I sympathized as I was supposed to. The play was rather clever, and I found it amusingly wild. I also found myself, quite to my surprise, in agreement with what I understood of her theories. If our world is so dry, square, rigid, so devoid of charm, warmth, spirit, enjoyment, and self-respect, It is because the majority of men have too easily relegated women to a sexual and child-rearing function. Wow. So this is where we're going, and it just started. Because they have reduced love to sex and refuse to apprehend, cultivate, and liberate the hidden wealth of the feminine nature, because they are frightened, uncertain, and childishly jealous of their prerogatives. Granted, but she did not offer any solutions. To make a living, Valerie went out in the streets of the village and peddled, mimeographed copies of her literary productions. This was an obvious waste of talent, and I offered her a contract to write an autobiographical, novel for me. She seemed to receive the idea with enthusiasm. At least she accepted my advances of money with alacrity, right? Something like that. The signing of the contract, and I was pleasantly surprised to see her arrive wearing some disturbingly feminine-looking clothes. What, like a dress? Is that disturbingly feminine? I thought I could even detect lipstick, a faint trace, powder, eyeshadow. What a contract will do for a girl. I was duly impressed. But after a few weeks, she was still engaged in her obscure panhandling activities. She had all sorts of false good reasons to offer when I asked her why she was not working on her novel. So she took your money and she didn't even work on the novel. Oh, that's good. That is funny. Working on her novel. However, living in the same hotel as your publisher could cramp any writer's creativity. Oh, well, there's the excuse. There's the excuse. One afternoon, she offered to introduce me to Andy Warhol, and we went to his studio to see a first rough version of I, a Man, which he had just finished shooting. Wow. Andy Warhol, that dude was a fucking legend. Valerie was playing a scene in the film, her own role in life, in fact, improvised by her along the lines of the SCUM doctrine, and she had done a pretty good job of it. She seemed very relaxed and friendly with Warhol, whose conversation consisted of protracted silences. With the decline of the summer, things started to go wrong for Valerie. Oh boy, she was finally kicked out of the hotel, and she started dunning me for more money. Oh, although she had not written a line of the projected novel. She's a fucking scam artist. Dude, this barely started and now we're already seeing who this person is. Really? The contract was prepared. She looked at it and said she would have to think about it some more before we parted. She launched into an involved and rather incoherent denunciation of Warhol. He was a thief. Really? He was a thief? Or you kind of just stole money from someone to fucking write a book and then you didn't write the goddamn book. Oh my God. Okay. So Andy Warhol was a thief. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He was a thief. He wanted to exploit her. He was a vulture. Oh, but you're like his best friend? What the fuck are you talking about already? Already? We're going through this shit already? This did not seem to make any sense since she really had nothing anyone would want to steal. You're broke, you're poor, just like me. Oh man. But I learned later during that same period that she was going to Warhol to complain bitterly about me. I was a thief and I wanted to exploit her. Oh, okay. She's one of those people, and it's not a woman. She's one of those people that they'll just play both sides against each other. Oh, damn. Valerie did not forget me. She started calling me day and night, either to insult me or to ask me in an urgent voice what I thought of her. Oh. Damn, this looks really bad already. A scum would triumph, she said. All men would perish. Warhol was a vulture and I was worse. Dude, what is wrong with you? Why are you allowing someone to talk to you like that? Take her ass to court. Get your fucking money back or something. Jeez. This book better be fucking good if this person really took it up the ass like that and just was fine with it. Further threats, insult, and twisted blandishments arrived by mail. Once my phone rang at 4 o'clock in the morning, Valerie was at the other end, remarking that I had a big enough place at the Chelsea and asking me rather sweetly whether she could move in. Oh, so now she's being sweet. God. A few days later, I received she said, moved in. I declined. A few days later, I received a letter in which she informed me that she had decided not to write the novel and that I could publish the SCUM manifesto instead. It was all mine, and she did not even mention contracts. Had I desired to answer her, I would have been unable to, as she did not give me her address. After that, I received more notes from her in quick succession, asking me to make a number of detailed corrections on the text of the manifesto and asking when the proofs would be ready. Still no return address. What an asshole. Then she went silent for a time until a new avalanche of letters came in sent from California. Oh, 1967, California. Of course. She's over there doing acid. She's over there doing LSD. She's just basically probably Jenny from Forrest Gump. Starting from the time. Reverse. Okay, so she tried to call me a number of times on reverse charges. Whenever she managed to catch me, she would hurl a couple of snappy insults at me before I had time to clamp down my throbbing telephone. That's what your ass gets. I'm sorry. It should have been the first sign. The first sign should have been, well, I gave you money. You didn't write the novel I wanted you to, so you can fuck off. But no, then you fucking take this manifesto. And I bet you anything, this manifesto is probably trash. Like, we're going to read this stuff, and it's going to be like, oh my God, this is everything that's going on. I was beginning to feel a little strange myself. Returning to New York after a short trip to Canada, I read in the paper on the plane from Montreal that Valerie had shot Andy Warhol? What? Remembering her grandiloquent program of mass murder has set forth in her manifesto, I started feeling rather silly to have taken it simply as a joke, but no, it was a joke. It had to be. She could not possibly have convinced herself that she was able to carry out the greatest genocide in the history of mankind single-handedly, and to miss her first man, and to humbly surrender 4 hours later of her own volition to a male traffic cop in the middle of Times Square. Too much. I went to see her in court, where, ranting and raving, she confronted a nonplussed judge, sending her own lawyers to hell and berating the district attorney. Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? Let's read it again. Sending her own lawyers to hell and berating the DA. Who does that sound like? Wow, holy shit. At her request, 2 days later, I went to see her at Elmhurst Hospital, where she was under observation. Valerie seemed quiet and relaxed, and I thought even coy. She did not seem annoyed in the least to be in jail. I told her that she had done a very stupid thing. She answered that she did not think so, and somehow she couldn't care less. I asked her, if you were ever released, will you shoot me? She answered with a friendly giggle, you? Oh no, and I'm over it now. In any case, I don't have to do it again. Wow, she was totally unconcerned, unaware, uninterested in her own or anyone else's feelings. She did not say that she was sorry or glad that Andy had survived the shooting. She engaged instead in a discussion of her two guns. She had been sure that her 36 would jam, although she had been entitled to expect something better for the $65 she had spent for it. And that was the reason why she added a 22 to her arsenal for safety. See, now that right there, I will agree with her. With this Valerie Soul Anus, okay, women, ladies, if you're listening, you need to be armed. You need to have some type of protection. Because I'll tell you, that video that we saw at the beginning, that won't happen to you, bro. Nothing will happen to you, ladies. If you have a fucking little piece on you like a 22, a nice little 22 in your purse, you ain't gonna have no problems with a man, ever. And I know that there's people out there that they don't support women having guns. Well, how long does it take you to get it out of your purse? Well, women, no. If women had firearms on them, rape would go down, assault of women would go down, and homicide of women would go down. You think that some guy's gonna want to beat you and he knows you got a gun in your fucking bedroom closet? Nah. Nah. Y'all women need to be armed for safety. And now we have completed the circle, and I am publishing Valerie's manifesto. This little book is my contribution to the study of violence. To interpret everything in terms of politics is suicidal. Yeah, well, don't say that in 22, because everything is fucking politics now. It is the source of most modern confusions. The crisis finds its roots elsewhere. Excuse me. It is a crisis of culture, a crisis of the heart, and of the intelligence. Maurice Garotas. Maurice, that was a man? Holy shit, bro. Introduction, Vivian Gornick. The SCUM Manifesto is an extraordinary document. Yeah, I'm so sure. It already sounds like it. An authentic love-hate child of its time, written in the unholy accent of inspired madness, and calling to mind such other penetrating unholies as Swift, de Sade, Celine, Henry Miller, written at white heat, and containing within it, this has to be like old school references, right? And containing within itself the secret knowledge of the victim. How much you want to bet that the women we're talking about every single day now have read things like this, including the other damn book? I bet you anything. Amber Heard and Evan Rachel Wood they probably have these books in their home. The knowledge of the victim, the economical insight of the obsessed, the multiplied courage of the utterly disheartened. SCUM is the work of the ultimate loser, of one beyond redemption, and as such its quality is visionary. What? The vision of Valerie Solanas stems from a single central fact of her existence. She is a woman. Oop, don't say that today. Don't say that today. Don't say that today. We don't know what a woman is. Okay. More than that, she is American. No. That's two. You're canceled for that too, lady. So you're a woman. Oop, you offended the trans community. And you're American. Oop, you offended the entire fucking world. More than that, she's a writer, and more than that, she is urban and or homosexual. Oh, so she's a lesbo. So that means, bro, if she was to call herself a woman today, Valerie Solanas would have been canceled. And she called herself American. Oof. There's 2 strikes against you, Valerie Solanas. Or a beggar, or a 30 years old. Well, hey man, we're all 30 nowadays. Or alive in the nuclear age, or was improperly loved in infancy. More than all of those factors together, the central glistening element of definition through which all of her experience is filtered, and out of which the singleness of her vision is forged, is the fact of her femaleness. I guess. The fact it contains and overwhelms all. Yeah, I'm sure it does. It determines and colors and directs and shapes and encourages and stifles the living material supplied by all the other elements of her particular humanness. It is a way of taking life into the self, quantitatively unlike any other way. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like a bunch of people when you go to a party and everybody's doing drugs and they're all all coked up out of their mind and shit. You know, I mean, a lot of people haven't done coke, but when you've seen people that are on coke and you hear how they talk, this sounds exactly like that. Now the reader may posit, of course, we have always known that Freud and Western culture have always made us insecure in the knowledge that the female of the species is particularly ruled by her femaleness. That biology, for a woman, okay, I'm gonna try and not do that. But come on, man, we all know the drama surrounding the word woman. So, is destiny. That woman's nature, determined by her childbearing properties, is a soft plastic vessel ready to shape any substance poured into this vessel to the female mold. That woman is actually the sexual shadow of life. That in the wake of the doer, the maker, the achiever, the decider, who is male. Well, hold on. That one, I know I rolled my eyes, but then again, in the 60s, bro, in the 60s, women really didn't have rights. Like, they were fucked back then. So I think that's what annoys me so much about this whole thing today. Bro, like, that doesn't exist. Like, women aren't like that anymore. Like, no. Well, we need to be liberated. You already are. What the fuck are you talking about? The encourager of the man. She is the companion, the comforter, the binder, the healer, the reliver, the supporter, the receiver, the encourager of this life's work. That she is the shaped rather than the shaper, the apprentice rather than the master, the atmosphere, the background, the set, the surrounding against which the focused male figure vividly plays out the substantial action of civilization and its discontents. Now, the problem with that is that this right here, it's doing what the other book did. Remember how they talked about being a victim, being perceived as a victim? That's what that is. That's literally what that is. She is the shaped rather than the shaper. Okay, that means she's the victim. Somebody made her that way. Now, like I said, that is real. Back then in 1967, bro, back then it was fucking hardcore for women and black people. Okay, that's real. Back then it was real. Today for women, I mean, we don't have the same rights as men. Really? You want to go into real law here? This sounded something. With Valerie Solanas what Valerie Solanas has seen in one quick visionary moment is that this her femaleness was made, not inherited. That her destiny is more a matter of culture than of biology. Ooh, don't even say that word today. And that it has profited civilization to develop and insist upon the myth of the dominance of biology rather than the ego in women. In woman, yeah, thereby making of woman a distinctly separate and secondary citizen. Well, see again, back then maybe. That in encouraging this false dichotomy, society has forced a crippling denial of the self upon both men and women, thereby making both of their emotional lives a stunted and only partially realized affair. I guess, full of deformed responses that in view of the fact that this is obtaining conditions has handed over all the real and direct power to men. Fine. And only the shadowy and manipulating power to women. What the fuck are you talking about? What? I mean, you can't come out and say that men are powerful and then you're going to say that you have the shadowy and manipulation power. How is that not power? What? What are you saying? What are you saying? Full of deformed responses that in view of the fact that this obtaining condition has handed over all the real and direct power to men and only the shadowy and manipulating power to women. Are you trying to say that manipulation doesn't matter, lady? What the fuck are you talking about? The correct view of the situation is undoubtedly political, and the issuance of a manifesto is the proper form for the declaration of war, cultural and psychological war, about to be waged on the sexual role system. Wow. Since the beginning of recorded time, women have lived as appendages to men, characterized by their weakening childbearing properties and by their inferior physical strength. Excuse me, Miss Toxic Feminist, can I stop you right there? You do realize that the point of having a man is so you don't have inferior physical strength. You know that, right? You do understand that, right? Like, a man doesn't have childbearing properties, excuse me. What the fuck are you talking about? There's no man on earth, not a single one, a real man, and we're not talking about trans and all that stuff because we don't do that shit here. There's no man on earth that can have a child, okay? No man with a dick and balls, not a single one. So you're trying to tell me that a man is supposed to have a woman as his appendage, but by their inferior physical strength, that's a weakening aspect. The man is supposed to be your strength. When a couple goes out in public, okay, if anything happens to her, it's his fault. He didn't take care of her. What do you women not understand about that? What do y'all not understand? You're weaker by biology. Oops, I said biology. You're weaker by biology. That's the point. We're stronger. The point is, there's supposed to be two things. One makes them better, and that one makes them better. A man can't give birth, dude. What do you people not get in your mind? It was assumed always in a time of primitive struggle that for the mutual benefit of the two, thank you, the men did the work and the women created the circumstances in which they could best work. Yeah, well, what's the problem with that? What? Oh, well, we don't want to get out of the we want to get out of the kitchen. We want to leave the home. Okay, go. Go. Leave the house, leave home and go to work. Go be at the office for 8 hours a day like us, gladly. Yeah, see how stupid of a decision that was. It was natural that it should be that it should be so. Of course, it was natural to that, to the one who did the actual work went the actual gains. Okay, now that's back then in 1960. Even today, if a man is a provider, okay, if the guy makes all the money, she's going to spend it. Okay, that's how it works today. And I bet you that's how it worked back then. The guy would make the money and the woman would pay all the bills. Okay, but back then there was no such thing as social media. There was no such thing as fucking manipulation in the media. So you have to understand that's full of shit. That's full of shit. Absolutely. Thus too, okay, actual work went to actual gains. Thus too, it seemed more and more natural as time passed and civilizations developed for men to take the positions of power won by virtue of a single train of events common to them. Decisions made, actions taken, responsibilities assumed. Yeah. You do realize that when a man goes out and does stuff for you, he takes responsibility for everything. You know that, right? Like, y'all understand that. And I'm not talking, and let's make one thing very clear. When I'm talking shit, I am in no way talking to the women out that are my subscribers. In none. Because the women that are my subscribers don't think like this. They don't think like this at all. Okay, so the women that I'm talking to are the women that would fucking write a fucking stupid book like this. And let's make one thing very clear. The women that are my subscribers would never, just like that other damn book, they would never subscribe to something like this. Okay, are they better than those women? Yeah, I think the women that are my subscribers are just better. Seems like civilizations, kind of responsibilities assumed. This dynamic alone, with the invaluable aid of reinforcement via repetition, made of men the masters of the race's life and of women the keepers of the master's health. Yeah, well, what the fuck? Well, he's going out and going to war. You know, back in the day, why do men get everything? Oh, because men were the ones going to the factory and losing their limbs and going to war and dying. Did I miss something? Like Timon, did I miss something? For it is commonplace that one becomes by being, one learns by doing, one controls one world simply by acting as if one controlled that world, and the converse is equally true. One ceases existing if one ceases to actively be. One's capacities atrophy if one ceases to exercise them. One loses control utterly if one acts as if one has no control. Well, yeah, that's true. Finally, some actual fucking profoundness in this bullshit. Thus, the there it is. They had to say it. Oh, of course they did. The patriarchal centuries passed. As the patriarchal centuries passed. Jeez. The psychological conviction of men's natural mastery and women's natural dependency began to take vital hold among both men and women. That is total crap. Like, you know what the problem is with women like this? They don't have husbands. They don't know what it's like to be in a relationship. They don't know what it's like to sacrifice for each other because you're together, because you're both going through something together. Women like this don't know anything about that. They don't know what it's like to be with someone for 20 years and you've gone through the lows of the lows of the lows and then you've also lived the highs. They don't know what that's about. They think that it's just transactional, that love is, oh, I give you love and then you give me something else. No, dude. Being in a relationship, being married, it's not about, oh, well, we have to be happy all the time. And if we're married, then I have to be happy or I'm going to leave you. Bro, what the fuck? How do you think you get to 35 years worth of marriage? How do you think you get there? You have to live through the low parts, but you live with that person because you love them. This is bullshit. Began to take vital. Both members of the species shared fully in the upheld idea that men should assert and women should retire. What does that even mean? That these traits are biologically determined? What does that mean? Men should assert and women should retire. Retire where? Retire to what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, lady? And I'm not saying because I don't understand it. I mean, retire where? What are you going to retire to Florida? What are you going to be Jewish? You're going to go be over there in the sun playing backgammon and shit? What are you talking about? Retire to where? No, you're just saying words so that way you can look like the victim. And that's because the actual book hasn't even started. And that the biological differences are crucial to historically justified roles men and women so rigidly play in socialized life. Men should make and do and be, and women should support and nurture and receive. Yeah, what? You receive. You're receiving what? Where did this go wrong? I can't even believe this. I can't believe there was an entire generation of women that got to stay at home every day, and all they had to do was watch children and live. Bro, you're not gonna tell me, oh, watching children is hard. Let me tell you something, ladies, and I'm not talking to the ladies that are my subscribers because they're smarter than that. Let me tell you something, toxic ladies that think like this. I had my kids, all three of them. I had them the whole pandemic. And the mother of my children, she was my wife at the time, the mother of my children would go to work, but I was working from home. So I was working from home and I had 3 kids and 2 of them were in school and 1 of them was barely born. So what the fuck are you going to say to me now? You ain't going to say shit. Because I know that when you have children at home and you're watching children and you're a stay-at-home parent, you're done with everything by 11 o'clock. One should learn support, receive, and one should act and the other should be acted upon. Dude, what the fuck? You make it sound like some woman's supposed to be raped. Acted upon? What the fuck? One should learn the virtues of inner necessity and the other the joys of emotional attachment. So, okay, fine. Now it's pretty official right there. This woman just doesn't have kids. Dude, I didn't have kids when I was 32, and I never knew love the way I do now that I have children. My kids love me, man. And women out there, they know that too. Your kids love you, not because you have a good job or you have a car or some shit. They love you because it's love. They're your kids and you're their parent. Okay? This is bullshit. Hold on, where is it? Right there. The other joys of emotional attachment. Yeah. And you know what? Probably back then, men didn't get the emotional attachment because they were at work all the time. So this is complete bullshit. One by nature is drawn to independence and separateness, and the other to connection and dependency. Oh my God. Dude, that screams Mad Men right there. That's what that screams. Mad Men. The show, Mad Men on AMC, that's what that screams. Because you know what, this whole fucking deal that men in the back in the day, what are you saying, that every man cheated? Every man, was it drawn to independence and separateness? Why don't you just say you never had a husband before? You don't know what it's like to be a wife. You don't know what it's like to be a girlfriend. Why don't you just say that? I mean, that Valerie Solanas woman, she was literally a beggar on the street. It's not like she's wife material, man. So for independence and separateness, and the other connection and dependency. Wow. It seems almost as in a dream that we have believed those things to be true forever. Well, not anymore. So deep and so convincing and so perfectly passed on and has been this idea that our conviction is that it all is and always has been natural to think it so. I remember once, years ago, a psychoanalyst asked me to tell him what I really thought of men. Oh, Christ. I thought hard for a long time and answered as honestly as I knew how. I both love and hate men. Well, I both love and hate women, but if I say that, well, you hate women. No, I don't. I love women. I love all women. And then I've said it before on my channel. The female body is one of the most amazing things that God ever created. So, no. Both love and hate men. I love them because they are very beautiful to me in their strength. They are all that is courageous and hopeful and adventurous in the race. Every bit of daring and possibility in life is in them, and when they are in their element. But imagine what a fragile thing it all is. In an instant, a man could be dead or maimed or deprived. Imagine an acrobat on a tightrope. He takes his position. He inhales. His muscles lie utterly still beneath his skin. Should he fall, he would become instantly clumsy, dead, meaningless. But while he stands, he is a miracle of grace and balance and darling. And his beauty is heartbreaking in its vulnerability and its risking. I never feel any of these things in members of my own sex. Well, that's not men's fault. That's not a man's fault. That is not a man's fault. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Because you don't feel those things, that's not a man's fault. Okay? Everybody is free to do what they want. But, like I've said, this was in 1967. Dude, back then, dudes would hit women. They'd hit them. They just, like, oh, you think you're not going to wash the dishes tonight? Like something. Back then it was real. Back then, domestic abuse was real. Today, domestic abuse is Babe, I kind of want Whataburger. I really don't want Burger King. You're disagreeing with me? That's domestic abuse. That's domestic abuse. He disagreed with me, so that's violence. That's violence. Women seem to be rooted in the earth, to be solid and enduring, simply there to nourish the life of the race. Why are you saying that like it's a bad thing? That's a fucking amazing thing. Do you have any idea how badly I want to find a woman that can nourish me and endure me and help me feel rooted to the earth? I just can't find it. I've been looking for so long already. I think it's because I'm attracted to toxic chicks. I'll admit that. I think I'm attracted to toxic women. The limits of rooted in the earth, to be solid and enduring, simply there to nourish the life in the race. But men are all its hope and the limits of possibility. That's your view, man. That's your view. No. I love them for that, and I hate them because I need them. Well, why do you need them? Because it's 1967 and only men work? Is that why? Could that be a small reason why? You think that women today that have a job and they have to go to from 9 to 5, they have to stay at the office, and then they got to go pick up their kids, and then they have to fucking go and put the kids to bed, and then they have to do all this shit. You think that they think like that? That I need a man. Bro, that's like literally the fucking phrase today. I don't need no man. That's literally the phrase. And that's because they don't. They actually don't. The women that do everything, they do everything, and then, well, because I need them. No, you don't. You didn't need them back then. Were you trying to say women couldn't get jobs back then? That's so stupid. Now, this is the problem here. I need them, and I resent needing them. I resent it because they don't need me as much as I need them. Well, maybe you should find a man that needs you as much as you need him. How about that? Why don't you go do that? I can still see the satisfied expression on that masculine Freudian face. Imagine, I took this feeling to be right and natural. It seemed an emotionally honest and healthy thing to me, that I should perceive all the elementally defining characteristics of what it is best in human life to reside in the male members of my species, and none of them to reside in the female members. This is the deal. Why do they want them to be the same? Men and women are not the same. Men can't give birth, man. Women can give birth. We're not going to go into all that trans shit. That's another channel. Go to another channel if you want to hear that. Women and men are different, man. They're different. Women and men are different. Men have certain attributes that women don't have. Women have certain attributes that men don't have. The mother of my children can deal with my kids. Sometimes I'll tell my kids, please be quiet, but I'll say it, shut the hell up. But she doesn't, she's fine with them. She's great with them. I'm not saying I'm an asshole to my kids. I'm saying I'm more hardcore with my kids. I don't put up with any bullshit. She does. We're different in those ways. Like if my kids want to fuck around, you ain't fucking around today. No. We're following the rules. You got to make everything happen. But her, she's lenient. She lets them do whatever she wants. Is that a bad thing? No. But what I'm saying is we're different, man. We're different people. Why is this? Why are y'all like that? And none of them, okay, let me go back. I should perceive all the elementally defining characteristics of what is best in human life and to reside in the male members of my species, and none of them to reside in the female members. Fine. We'll just move on because I can't stay on that. None of them to reside in me. Oh, whoa, there it is. Ding, 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 ding. So in other words, you're just insecure. In other words, you're just insecure. Because let me make one thing very clear to the women that think like this. There's plenty of women that are good wives, that are good girlfriends. They know how to treat a man. They know what men want. They know how to give men what men want. And they know how to receive what women want. They know. Not all women are like this, man. This is so disappointing when you hear this kind of crap. Because imagine if a man was saying that. You know who talks like that? Those MGTOW dudes. No, well, women, and it's me, and it's like, no, I don't need to, and I'm bitter. Dude, you sound bitter as fuck, bro. What the fuck? It seemed right and natural to me to define myself as rooted in the earth, enduring solid. Good, because you are. What the fuck? What? Why is it not okay? Although I continually experienced a hunger to assert myself. Go assert yourself. Go do it. Go do it. Go stay in the office for 8 hours. Go do it and see what happens to you. You guys wanted to stay. You wanted to get out of the house. Now you got out of the house, and now y'all got to work just like us. Although I continually experienced a hunger to assert myself, a love of independence, a stronger regard for work than for love. There it is. There it is right there. There it is right there. They don't know how to love someone. They don't. A sexual appetite separate from romantic associations. Oh my God. Do you hear this bullshit? Oh my God. Somehow it was impossible to address myself to the actual evidence of my senses. Well, at least she can admit it. At least she can admit that she's the problem. At least, thank you. There's a lot of women that can't do that. Ladies, y'all have a big problem. You need to be able to admit when you're wrong. You got to be able to say, yes, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Like that right there. Somehow it was impossible to address the actual evidence of my senses. Somehow it was necessary to go on mumbling these platitudes about the normal woman. You know what? I think that's so disrespectful to women, man. That's so fucking bullshit. You tell these women that they want to be in a relationship, they want to have a man, they want to have a boyfriend, they want to have a husband. You tell them that they're not good enough because of their choices. How do you think that makes you look, bro? Could you imagine if a man told another, hey, bro, what's up, bro? No, nothing. What's up, man? Bro, you want to have a girlfriend? What the fuck? You want to have a wife? What the fuck? What is wrong with you, bro? What the fuck are you, MGTOW? Shut the fuck up. I don't need your fucking bullshit. See, and that's what y'all women need to tell women like this. Tell them to shut the fuck up. I want to have you because there's women out there that do. There's women that want a boyfriend. There's women that want to be taken care of. There's women that don't want to go to work. Why are they not normal? What is that bullshit? We're at that very moment complaining, doctor, I feel so guilty. I know I must be abnormal to feel this way. Okay, we're not going to go there because the health system and the technology of the medical field is completely different than it was now. Because let's not forget, I'm going to have to go and find it, but don't forget about that ad where doctors said that smoking was healthy. After all, I have everything I could possibly want. A husband, 2 beautiful children, a lovely home. No, you don't. You don't. This person doesn't. No. The normal women that do, okay, it's obvious that you're missing something. So go out and get it. Go out and get it. And there's a lot of women that they hate working. There's a lot of them. The culture, this damnable culture, how does it teach men to be men and women to be women? How is it possible in a time and place that is rich in economic and legal freedoms and technological advances? Oh, really? What did you have? The plane? Oh, look, a plane. And beyond our wildest dreams in unimaginable releases from primitive labor, that women are still raised to believe that the normal woman is, first and foremost, a wife and mother. Dude, that doesn't even exist now. That doesn't even exist now. Even if a guy is married, he knows that his wife doesn't listen to him. Bro, if you're married now, basically what marriage is you got to take her shit until you both die. Or until you die and then she finds someone else after you. Come on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? First and foremost, a wife, a mother, while the normal man is first and foremost a human being of psychic dimension whose ego needs to be satisfied. What? Actually, you want to know what? This is actually flipped. Because nowadays, a woman's ego needs to be satisfied first before she'll even fuck with you. And ladies, don't play that game with me. You know that's true. You know you love a man when a man strokes your ego, but not too much because then he's kind of, he's too easy. He's a pushover. But come on, really? What does that mean? A human being of psychic dimension whose ego must be satisfied, needs must be satisfied. What the fuck are you talking about? Psychic dimension. Stop doing acid. God damn it. How is it possible that this conviction persists and persists? How is it possible that an attitude, an idea, a way of looking at things is more powerful than freedoms that come with college educations and birth control pills? Oh my God. In 1,000 ways from the Bible, which refers to a man and his need for a woman, a man needs a woman and a man needs a good woman. And a lot of men are failures because they don't have anybody behind them. Behind a great man is an amazing woman. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry that you have to hear that a guy like me that's an asshole will say that. I've been looking for an amazing, supportive woman my entire life, and all I've ever gotten is toxic and argumentative, and oh, you're wrong, Andrew, and then I end up being right. Like, no, I've been looking for that, but like I said earlier, I think I'm attracted to toxic women. Smart, okay, let's see, women, let's see. To a man, his need for a woman, to the law which refers to a man and his wife, to advertisements, well, don't even go into advertisements today, which offer women as sexual rewards to men for smelling good, making money, being okay. So, no, you're not gonna do that. We're just not gonna gloss over that. We're gonna drop this shit. Okay, advertisements which offer women as sexual rewards for men to men for smelling good. How many times have you heard a woman say, "Oh, I love when a man has cologne. Oh, I love when a man smells like whatever, or Aqua de Joe." Oh, and even women now with the Johnny Depp thing, they love, all of a sudden they love Sauvage or whatever that's called, right? They love his fucking cologne. I mean, I'm not a cologne guy, but if I was, I'd buy Johnny Depp's cologne because he's Johnny Depp. And then next one, smelling good, making money. Really? You're going to tell me that women are fine with a man that doesn't make money? I'd have a wife if that was true. Being masterful. You're trying to tell me women like a guy that's a fucking moron? Come on. Decisive, smart. Oh, and then look at that one. Rich. So essentially, you want an indecisive man would be fine with this woman. A stupid man would be fine with this woman, and a poor one. Excuse me. Really? To mothers who let their daughters learn that they must be married to be happy. Look, man, I've met a lot of married people, and they're fucking miserable. Marriage, this is bullshit. And I think that the marriage thing back then in that day, it was all held up by the church. Sorry, you want real history back then? If you divorced back then, back then if you divorced, oh man, they would shit on you like Amber Heard shit on Johnny Depp's bed. And I don't mean literally, but you know what I mean. Married to be happy, to the atmosphere which informs a girl that she loses if she's too smart, too educated, too independent. I'm going to drop this one. Too assertive, too anything. Bro, ladies, look at me. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Too smart. You're not too smart. You think you know it all. And every time a man speaks, you interrupt him and you try and shit on him for what he doesn't know that you think you know. Too educated. So you think you're educated because you have a master's and a guy doesn't have a master's, so you look down on him. Too educated. Too independent. You think being independent is treating men like trash and being able to use them whenever you want and getting a date and being like, oh, I don't even like this guy. I just want a free movie or a free meal or a free drink. Too assertive. Look, it's just you being an asshole. You're not being assertive. You're being an asshole. Too anything except sexually desirable and sexually available. Oh, sexually available. Well, that changed. Bro, literally, Meg Thee Stallion and I forgot of Erykah Badu, they were literally twerking on stage. The new empowerment for women is shaking your ass. That's the new empowerment for women. So don't tell me that. Too sexually available. Oh, all these women are sexually available. Oh yeah, and if you got enough money, if you're good looking enough, or if you got a nice car, they'll bang you. Don't play that game with me. With the end of the Second World War, which all men fought, a crisis occurred in American life, beginning with a general loss of faith in the meaning and comfort of middle-class capitalism, and it has gathered momentum during these past 25 years, sweeping through the country to include the hungers and... Damn it, I lost it. The hungers and protests and demands of a whole variety of national have-nots, beginning most notably with blacks and then students. It has ended most vociferously, and most dangerously and most radically with women. Women who have formed a new liberation movement. Women who are beginning to say no in thunder, whatever that means, to the cultural persuasion that their primary needs are biological and not egotistical. I say it again. Ask the women that have to be at work all day. Ask them if they would rather be at home watching kids all day and watching TV? Ask them, because there's a lot. There is a lot of women that would rather be at home. All right. Biological women who are beginning to raise their voices in heat and anger against the civilization that has sought to convince them that the psychic energy, again with the psychic energy, stop doing acid, at the center of all human life, at the center of humans driving the need to work and solve problems and take himself seriously is not the common lot of men and women. Women who are beginning to understand that it has benefited a patriarchal society to make adults of men by giving them all the real responsibility, and to make children of women by depriving them of all the real. Women who are beginning to realize that they have been cheated of their birthright by the insistence of the qualities of passivity and aggression are unmixed in the race, with all the passivity accruing to the women and all the aggression accruing to the men. Women who are determined now in this great new wave of feminism. Yeah, we know where that third wave went. In feminism, to make a lunge for that brass ring which threatens more than any other element of social revolution abroad ever could, to bring Western society toppling. What? But Western society is what gave you your rights. Do you women not understand that? You want to topple Western society, and Western society is what gave you all the rights that you have? Are you serious? Okay, well, that's an hour. So, man, you already see what we're going through here. So thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for staying with me this long. God. So I guess on Monday, we're going to just keep on going. I know there's a lot of stuff happening, but everybody's talking about Amber Heard. Everybody's talking about Marilyn Manson, and this is really good. So I'm going to keep on going. We do have a lot of articles to get to, but I'm going to keep on going with this. So we'll keep on going Monday. Thank you for staying with me this long. Let me know what you think so far, because damn, I can't even believe that. But yeah, like I said, thank you for staying with me this long. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Click the little bell. We will catch you next time.